Yes, are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Ooh, thank you, Ron. Brother Batila, how are you doing?
I'm good.
All
Really good.
right. So, welcome in Nzaaa Virtue, our first podcast for Nzaa's Virtue. Here I am, not alone. I'm here with Brother Batila, Brother Ron. Yes, so you welcome you.
Welcome.
And there will be going to be the regular host here. Yes, hope to see most of the time Brother Batila, although he's always busy as a
Well,
musician.
we try. We try.
You try. So, yes, welcome into our first Nzaa's Virtue. His life have purpose for human beings. Does we have a
Does life
purpose?
have purpose?
And does it matter?
Does it really matter? Like,
Well, I think, yeah, why not? Because being alive itself, it's a winning of lottery for us to be here, isn't it?
well, in some sense, yes, but I feel like it's very subjective on how each
Oh,
person looks at the thing.
okay. I want to hear what's your perspective, brother.
Uh,
Subjective, yeah. Well, what do you mean subjective, Batila? You think what do you say? Well, it's clear. I think it's a question which is not something which is in only now. It's a question which we have one of us, all of us, we have been, sometime come across and to us to be questioned this.
I think the purpose of life, even if you yourself you don't like acknowledge or see the purpose, there is a purpose because even if you should just like, let's say, let's give an example. You meet someone on the street and you had a bad day and you meet that person and you speak to that person or the person just looks at you, smiles at you. That was already the purpose, like that the person already had a purpose, like that meeting,
Moment.
that moment already had a purpose. So it's life. That's life.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I hear that perspective of
Because the thing is that sometimes we ourselves, we are not consciously aware of our purpose, but every human life, every human moment, every second has a purpose, I believe.
true.
but are you sure that it's necessarily a purpose? Because purpose always means that it has the ending, meaning that once you reach this ending, it's over.
Well,
Not
yes. Why not? Death. I think
well.
when there's life, death, it's also the presence of life. It's the presence of death.
No, but by this definition, it means that every single moment is a purpose.
Yes.
Because that moment, even if you think that it's over in that moment, it's not over because it goes on. I mean, you're gonna have the memory, you're gonna have the feeling, it's like it's there, it's continuing. It's not there's no ending to it. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
can put an end to it if you want to in this physical sense,
Mm-hmm.
but actually there is no ending,
Well,
I feel.
let's say it this way. Do we have a purpose here on earth as human beings when you were born individually? Do you feel that you have seen clear that what's your mission here on earth is?
I feel like it's easier to answer to this question if we look at it from the perspective of a child. Does a
Wonderful.
child think that he has a purpose?
Mm.
Not really. Child just exists and enjoys the moment that is in.
Well, I think yes, of course. A child, yeah, that's why it's always good to keep the energy of a child, even when we are adults, to not let the child die. However,
But who defines the purpose? Is it the one Is it yourself or
Yeah,
is
the
it?
one's carrying life.
It's
Yeah,
yourself. I
yourself.
feel like if we keep going on with this example of a child, I feel like the purpose that we're talking about is something that's acquired over time. We keep thinking about our existence and we start questioning it. Like, why am I here? Is there some
Yes.
kind of
Oh
purpose?
yeah. So that's where the direction really of the question going, because this question, it's obviously we have all have been, questioning that, ask that. Well, collectively, also as a human being, what our mission here? Are we evolving, or well, when we're looking also around at us, everything that's happening for human beings, um, yes. So individually, yes, I am here, of course, out of all those living, if we started even at the beginning, as we even talked earlier, to be born, just when you started biologically,
Yeah.
a sperm and the earth from a female, there's this, race,
Yeah.
and only one or two twins, they can be, entering the female earth. So us to be existing, to be alive, to be here, it is already a door toward a certain mission. I feel that way.
But again, we're stumbling upon the same question. What determines that mission? I feel
Well,
like if once we determine that it is developed over time by us,
indeed.
it means that it's something that is acquired
Oh,
and
yes.
something that you come up with your experience when you try to define what is it that you like and what is it you enjoy and what is it that you want to do.
Yes.
And that thing, I feel like, makes a purpose for you.
Yes.
You want to do that your whole life and you feel like you enjoy doing
Yes.
that, and you
Yeah.
feel like I want that. I
Yeah.
want to get there. I want to do that.
And things start becoming more clear also for you, for what making you also, passionate about, isn't it, my brother Batila? When you're on stage, providing us all the vibes and positive vibes on stage as a musician, uh, expressing yourself. Yeah, I think a purpose is what you also just mentioned. Do something you're passionate about, and the ultimate purpose. I think we are here also to serve.
Yeah, my question is still like this question of purpose, from which angle it's been asked from, from which perspective? Is it from an
My brother Batila,
outsider
for your
perspective?
existence, only your existence
Yeah,
of
but
yourself.
some people, they, in my eyes, they have a purpose, or in whatever they do in their existence, but then them themselves, they don't see their purpose. So, like, who determines? Is it? I mean, is it yourself? Is it
Close to your
yourself?
microphone, yeah.
Is it yourself, or is it your surrounding, your the outside world, basically? Because like I said, I know many people, and I came across many people who, if you ask them, they will not, they can't give you an answer. They don't know. That, like, they question their existence themselves. But me as an outsider, I see their existence, and
Yeah.
their existence has a purpose because of how they are and what they do and what they add, like the value they add to my existence also, and to the existence
Others.
of others. So I think it's that question of purpose is, of course, like somebody like me, for example. I'm like you said, I perform, I write songs, and for me, I write songs not just for myself. I mean, of course, every song is like also a reminder to myself, and I'm talking to myself, but it's more something like that I want to give. That's
To
my gift,
serve.
like,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
that's my gift to the society, and I don't write a song if I don't have anything to say, because I know that what I am about to say doesn't, that it doesn't serve anything, doesn't give you anything, or doesn't give myself anything, so I don't write. So
Yeah.
It's a very tricky question. So
Yeah, well, I think it's having also a second volet, as the French says. Does it even matter?
It really depends. I just want to expand the thought on what he just said.
Okay.
Does your surrounding influence your purpose, or is it you who determines the purpose? I feel like that deserves another level of this topic as well, because I feel like ideally it is you yourself who should determine the purpose. But whenever you don't think about it, when you're not conscious about it, it is automatically your surroundings that's creating this purpose, and you don't even think about it. It's just happening. You just follow whatever people around you tell you to do. You keep following the same steps, and you just go with the flow, and you don't think about yourself.
it's not
But
necessarily what the people tell you to do.
yes, but I'm just saying that it's just in general
Okay.
surrounding.
Well, which apply also, parenting, who's gonna guide you also through this
also
life
true, yeah.
and society,
It's part of it, yes.
politics, your nation, the world we are living in, and of course that can, also combine it. Yeah, make part of, human to question their purpose or to find their purpose. I think that we are the director of our own life in so many ways.
True.
And we create our own reality. We can create our own visions and follow through that, and especially to the same thing also you have said. Doing something you're passionate about, doing something you love. Sing. Well, I like what also. There's a very interesting guy, Dr. Wire Dyer. Yeah, Dr. Wire Dyer is. He write a book which say the 10 miracle. Yeah, something like this. But anyway, what he said, he mentioned something about never die with your music still in you.
Yeah.
So that music, it's in Nzaa's energy that we have been already talking about earlier. I think every human being come here on earth with his unprinted energy to coexist here with others, to contribute also his own reality here. Well, it always have to be very, anything you do, you feel like you're serving, you're servicing others through something you feel passionate about. I think that's the journey of our purpose here. And then of course, it's continually, it's always evolving.
Yes.
With the situation that we encounter, life, the family we are born, and all that. It's part of it. So having that music in us, having that music in us, that fire, you are the only person who can really kind of sing that music. You are the only person who can bring that music alive, isn't it?
That is true. It's also as if saying that does music have a purpose? Like, would you think that the music as a musical composition itself has a purpose? I mean, structure-wise, it follows its own journey from one point to another. It's going somewhere. And then it's coming to this finishing line. But when you ask generally, does it have a purpose?
Well,
depending on the societies, I think, and the culture.
That is also true.
Because, like in the griot culture,
griot, yes,
music. That's the purpose of music: to give information, to tell stories, to also give knowledge. To express your grief, to express the joy. It's like they were wandering around. They were like the newspapers.
True.
Like
Yeah.
telling
By the way, just for our audiences who's following us into Spotify, YouTube, when Brother Batila say griot, yes. So can you explain what's griot for those who do not really know?
Well, first of all, I think most of them know what griot is.
I hope, yeah.
Especially the ones that are listening to us.
Okay.
I would call griots define griot as a musical messenger. Like
Yes, they are messengers. They are poets. They are messengers. They are storytellers. So
exactly.
in Africa, in all many also Aborigine, places around the world, they have those griots who can tell stories, and the music accompanying it and dance. So it all the time, in every moment of, most African countries, yeah, it's music and griot dance. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I didn't intro you. Continue with your thought, brother.
Well, yeah, like there is a purpose into it. They it's the art in general. Like in the Western world, art is something like abstract. You go to an exhibition to see art,
Hmm.
to experience art. But in many cultures, art is part of life. It's part of it's
Yeah,
like
it's part
you
of
you, you, you
living.
you don't go
Yes.
somewhere to see art. The art serves you. Like this
Very
art serves
interesting.
you for something.
Yeah.
It's not something that you exhibit and put there to look at, but it's something that you live with, something that's part of
Of
part of
our way of living.
yes, exactly.
And to just one thing, when you say about art, I think that perspective is a very interesting perspective, because many things which the way we grow up with, music and culture moment, it was only on the perspective of outside. Then we get to learn that, oh, this is art. That's where the definition of art is sometimes always in my mind. Okay, what's really the definition of art or being the artist?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I just had a residency at the Humboldt Forum in Berlin, and for them that's art.
Yes, you see. Yeah,
The exhibition, like all
it's
the
art.
all the statues and all the masks, for them it's art. But for us, it was not art. It is not art. Those are our spirits. Those are like like the spirits in a material form. Like kind of. Um, I mean, those masks, they had a meaning. They were used for something. They were evoking something. They were protecting something.
Wow. Yeah.
So
You
if
mean artifact, which it's called this side artifact. Yes,
yes,
very true,
exactly.
very true.
So
Hey, Ron, do you have that the same thing also on your home?
Not necessarily, especially if we keep in mind that Uzbekistan was under influence of the uh, Soviet countries, and then before
Oh, wait.
Russian Empire,
Can you
and
just
then
tell us where's Pakistan? Who's
Uzbekistan.
Pakistan? Yeah. How do you
Not
pronounce it?
Pakistan, it's Uzbekistan.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Good. Which side it is around the world? Somewhere
It's in Central Asia, right in the
Central
middle.
Asia in the middle. Oh, I saw
Yeah.
that. It was, yeah, interesting. Okay. Who's are the neighbors around?
Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, below Tajikistan, Afghanistan.
Oh, the Hastan. Yeah. What's
Yeah,
the
all the
meaning of the
Stan
Hastan?
countries. Stan. It's basically means a country.
A country.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
for example, Uzbekistan is country of Uzbeks.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's
Tajikistan is country of Tajiks,
okay.
and so on and so forth.
Okay. Yeah. Continue your thought, brother.
So yeah, if you keep in mind that our country was influenced by Russia for a very long time, we kind of lost some of these traditions, although we maintained some of them, but they are, in a way, as you said, were separated from our daily lives as well. They became art, separate
True.
art thing,
Yeah.
and a special discipline that you have to study. Whereas it's not part of our daily lives where we just try to do that. Although in some traditional places where, or in traditional events, there are some musicians who perform that way. But I feel like at the moment when you separate art from your daily life, from the normal living, I feel like it kind of loses its spirit in a way, in some sense, because I feel like it has to be
Call out.
as a part of your life, because music in a lot of sense is like language. It's something that you have to communicate with. You have
Mhm.
to speak it, and you have if you don't practice it, if you don't like it's the same with any other language. If you stop using the language over
Yes,
time, you just forget it.
true.
It stays in the past. uh, and the same thing with music. You just have to practice it and use it and apply it and communicate with it with others.
Mm.
In that case, you can transfer your thoughts very clearly and
Yeah,
beautifully. And music is a very, very special way of transferring your
yeah,
thoughts,
your
of
thought, your
explaining
energy.
yourself.
True.
Yes.
That it doesn't matter which a language is the music, but when it's vibrating and good frequency and good vibes, it just got you.
Yes.
Well, we're not gonna go. I think this can go a little bit big and a little bit wilder. Yeah, let's go back. Yeah, let's relax and go back. Really, do we, or do you feel your existence here have some kind of a purpose, according also to moment, events that have come since you were born until where you are today? There's that ring. There's are we hearing that music within us? I think yes.
Yes.
Because I mean, when I look at the story of you, I know you're a good friend of mine. Yes, I know you. Yes, knowing also your history, part of history, how you started with music. I mean, Ron is also a musician, teacher as well. Uh, yeah, who's helping also us here into our engineering sound, which is good. So, well, looking just our life and moments, uh, this human being who also gets sick and get over it, or someone an accident happen, only he get out. Will that person will believe, will think he's have a purpose, right? Why did he get away when everybody just passed?
Hmm. What do you think, though?
Yes, I think for us being here, for us existing, for us showing up here, no matter what moment, event that comes up and down, yes, of course, living is not only for sissies. Well, living is for warriors. If we look at the beginning, how we
Yes.
come and, to be conceived and 9 months and, the first cry and continue living, yes, you need to be really, a warrior of life.
On the other hand, though, do you feel like you're being forced into being a warrior? Otherwise,
To being what?
life will consume you.
Yeah?
Because we don't choose to exist.
No.
We just exist.
Mm-hmm.
And we cannot undo that. Well, technically we can, but we don't want that.
Well,
Yes,
that's
but-
it will call. Don't do it.
Yes.
Life, it's wonderful. Live
Exactly.
life all the time.
But once we're there, it's very natural for us to start asking questions, because it wasn't our choice to be. But once we experience that, we feel like there's like, I feel like the purpose in life in general is to find joy in things that you do.
Oh yes, true.
Otherwise, everything would be just meaningless for you.
Mhm.
And you start questioning yourself, why am I even here? Because it wasn't even my choice to be here. And you were basically forced into existence. And once you're there, you cannot undo that. And you try to find your own fire
Yes,
and your own purpose.
which
And
was
you-
already in you since you
Yes.
show up here. Yes, that fire. Yeah, indeed.
Yes, and that's what keeps you moving on later
Oh
on.
yes. Wow. Yes. Brother Batila, isn't it how we feel about life?
Yeah.
Oh, Brother Batila having a different thought. Let's
No,
hear it, brother.
I was just thinking about all those people that have this thought constantly. because I don't have this thought constantly about
Yeah.
my
Mm.
purpose. Because
Yes.
I mean, so many things play a role, like you said, your upbringing, who you're surrounded with, the love that you get, the love that you didn't get, the struggle that you have, the the your view and on things that you appreciate, for
Oh
example,
yeah.
because we appreciate different things
Mm-hmm.
in different ways. So, like I said, I was thinking about those people that ask themselves this question, and coming back to what I said before, thinking about those people, sometimes you need a reminder
Mm-hmm.
about your purpose,
Oh yes. Uh-huh.
because
What kind of reminder that we're talking about?
a reminder can be
Anything or sickness
simple
or
word,
moment,
even just
event.
simple words of appreciation from your next kin
Yeah.
can be a reminder,
Yes.
and loss is a reminder. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think every time somebody passes away, yeah, not due to uh like even if it's natural death,
Yeah.
yeah, it's still it's always a reminder.
Oh yes.
It always reminds us of,
It's a lesson for those who still
yes,
alive. Yeah.
it's a moment of pause to
Yes.
think, okay, when I leave this place, yeah, what did I accomplish, or what like this question, what was my purpose, or what is my purpose,
Yes. There you go.
So I think it's good to ask yourself that question, but I think it's even better if you live, like if you
You don't ask the question.
no, it's not. I mean, you can ask the question, yeah, but I mean, constantly asking that question, I feel it's not healthy.
No,
Yeah.
well,
I
which is
totally
good.
agree.
Okay.
I really feel like that,
Yes, but you will continue. I think you point something very interesting here. Do you want to tell me if we shop in this life and everything in our life it's always wonderful, wonderful? We're not gonna ask the purpose of life or our purpose here, what our
Oh,
mission
but the
here.
thing is, it's never wonderful, wonderful.
Exactly.
Yes, but do you think we only, as you say, like people who ask that question often? Okay, I think I've asked that question, and it's no. I've heard many people have discussion. People still, questioning the purpose of life. My purpose, or did
Yes.
I'm
I'm singing the music in me. I'm expressing fully, and when someone passed, or you miss an accident, wait, I'm living. Okay, so there's a mission that to accomplish, maybe,
I
or
don't
maybe not.
I'm not sure if everybody thinks like that, really.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm really not sure about that, because you can have different kind of thoughts after being saved by from an accident.
Yes.
You can also feel guilt and say, why did that person die and not me?
Uh-huh. But after that question, I think something comes on.
I don't know.
Why not me?
I can't say, but I'm not too sure if everyone asked themselves that question, that perspective of what is my purpose. So
The
I don't
purpose
know.
of existing, of living, and of journeying this through life, and directing also your own life, and feeling that you are not only an actor here, but you are, you know, you have choices to make and build your own life or journeying it. Um, but of course, by always remembering, do something which you feel fire, you feel really, passionate about. Um, you serve, because I think as a human beings, serving others, it's always feel, like serving ourselves.
I think like what you said about I somehow think that we're all actors. We
Yeah.
all have I mean, this is also the life, that we're living, is that we don't know when it's ending. Yeah,
which is good.
which is good. So it is like you have
Maybe
to.
that way it make us into like, okay, you don't know when it's gonna end, and what are you doing with the time you have now?
Whatever you do, just do it with 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 your heart,
Oh
like
yeah.
do it.
And do what you think is right.
Oh yes.
Well, sometimes.
Oh, why not? Sometimes do what you think it's right.
Because sometimes you think it's right, but I mean, of course it can be right for you, but
It's not right for others.
no.
Like
Wow.
what?
Like what? Yes, because morality. Wow, I think we have in all human beings. Well, no matter what background you come from with or you've been raised, we know there's children that have been abused and later become adult murders and all that. However, what we are not able to do for ourselves, like, I can go to the kitchen, I'm going to take the kitchen knife and then just, you know, or, hit myself, or I know the kitchen knife, it can be cut, used as a good tool. But I'm going to stab it to someone?
Some people do.
Yes, but it's also it's a choice, right? It's a moral choice, which is always a lot of question about that. Someone make his own choice, yeah. But even when they do, there's always something in them which they feel guilty, or we have here a lot of
Like the thing
interview.
is, when they do something like that, it means that they breached this moral compass thing and they broke
They
something
broke so
in,
many
in them.
in them.
And at
Well
that
said.
point, it's really
Yes,
it,
well
it really
said.
hits on your head.
True. It's yes. That's I think the maybe some secret of our consciousness, or something within us. It's like mirroring yourself, like
But then again, going back to the original question, why do you think it's not good to do what you think is right?
mhm.
I didn't say that.
No, you didn't say like this. You said that
I
it's
said
not.
it's not always.
Yeah.
Yeah, why it's not always.
Um, like I said, it can be right for yourself. I
Mhm.
mean, you can be fine with it,
Mhm.
and from the Buddhist perspective, it's okay, really, because it's like it's about you and how like how you feel is
Mhm.
like it's important. It's most important. You don't care about what others think or feel. But I feel that sometimes you can also step back, or move aside,
Oh yeah.
because that thing that you're thinking is right. Yeah, it's not universal right. It's right
Ah.
for yourself maybe in that moment, but since we live in a world since we don't live alone, yeah,
Mhm.
since we deal with society. I'm not talking about things like, oh, I'm going to go to the beach now, it makes me feel good, just going to go, and if somebody doesn't come with, I'm not talking about those things. I'm not talking
Yes,
about,
we're talking
you
on
know
real things of like moral things,
you
good
know
and bad, like you said before. Like why it's not. Yeah, I mean, as you say, that's to live passionately and live honestly, or to do good, uh, a- and
I think
yeah, interesting.
I think sometimes, I mean, it's like the same thing with, let's just be really, like, really hard, like same thing like
Yes,
colonization, for example.
yes.
They were thinking they're doing right.
Or
Oh
democracy.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
you know it's
Yeah.
like, of course, the generator of the system, of course, they had a plan, right? But
Yes.
the other people, like even the people that we are countering now, like
Hmm.
the next generation, whatever, they just have in mind that what they did
I'm doing just right for my
is
country.
right, because I don't have something to eat here. I move, go to another country, kill those people, get their food, feed my family. It's right?
No, I think even you do something like that, they knew, this whole. Okay,
That's what I'm saying. They knew,
Yeah.
but I think the rest of the people that followed that movement,
Mhm,
they were
mhm.
thinking that they're doing something right.
Yes.
They
Wow.
didn't think about us or about me as an African or as the
Or Aboriginal around the world, all
Whatever.
the nation have been colonized, and
They didn't think about that. They were thinking what they're doing is right. Doing is right for them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's where it also comes with a lot of energy of compassion that's we all may have. Oh yeah,
It's life.
It's okay. It's life. Yes, as always. Um, do like just like we do it. Well, I think there's maybe a word into the Bible. I remember, but I cannot really precise that. But I remember, as my parents will always tell us that uh, do to others what don't do to others what you cannot do to yourself. Does this sentence, I think we have heard that before, that's still relevant to today's world?
I think that sentence is always relevant.
Yeah.
Always, because you don't want to be hurt yourself.
Yeah.
So why doing it to others? You don't want to suffer. Why making other people suffer?
Mm-hmm.
You try to look from other people's eyes, from their perspective. And that's very helpful practice.
Yes, true.
It's very, very, very helpful. I mean, it's also it's the ground for kindness, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you want people to be kind to you, so you're gonna have to be kind.
Well, that can also be argued because yes, we see, someone can be soft and kind, but get attacked. Like, many nations, let's say even the Indian Americans, they were living in their whole life, at peace, whatever. Well, at their whole life. And of course, yeah, someone who figured out the fire machine, a bullet.
But they're not called Indian Americans anymore. They don't use that term anymore.
Oh, what are they called now?
Indigenous people, or what do they say? There's another word for it.
Native Americans?
Native Americans. Yes, I think that's the right word. So Native Americans. Yes, which apply also, in in Africa or many other places of. But yes, we're not gonna. That could be maybe another subject. We can go also a little bit wild. Right now, we are just simply try to extend our thought on, does life have a purpose? Of course, within us, in our own perspective of life, of existing here as individuals and collectively. And I think, yes, of course, I mean, its purpose, it's not something which you figure out now, or you figure out just, oh, I get it. Like, yes, I think there's some signs, and especially, of course, if you are also taking care of yourself and becoming more aware of your reality, becoming more aware of others, and becoming really feeling the energy within you. And the more yes, the more it's like, oh, okay. And they start also seeing signs, which like, oh yeah, oh maybe, of course we always like, maybe not that, especially when we are into like more challenging time in our lives, cancer, someone's having a cancer and all that. So like, oh yeah, what is this, why this? And what you also say before, when we our loved ones passed, it trigger us, like, okay, wait a minute, maybe this young man or young woman was already like, sparkling and, always we thought that he's on his way on his purpose, but his life it's being shortened. Yes, it is a very complex
Yeah.
thought.
There's one thing that you mentioned.
Okay.
So far we were talking about individual purpose of a
Mhm.
person, right? But you also mentioned the purpose as society,
Yes,
which I feel like
collectively.
which I feel like is something completely different.
Oh,
Collective purposes. I yeah, I don't think it's everything that's been said so far. It's been part of it, but the purpose that the society gains it's formed in a bit different way. I feel it starts as an idea, as a discussion, and then it grows into something bigger. But the problem with that is that some people just blindly follow these ideas.
yes, into like more collective, yeah,
Yes, that's the problem with all the collective things.
ideas. That's how it goes.
Yes.
Ideologies and the his man,
People
his man,
just
his man.
blindly follow them without rationalizing them.
Yeah. Well, I think our subject is more, yes, of course, individual. I mean, as a human beings themselves, because I think the more also we understand, or the more we are journeying really of understanding ourselves, and the more we can also contribute in a collective ideas to our own perspective of life.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if those vibration of ourselves, it's kind of it's good. Yes, collectively, for example, we are able to build this. Oh, look what happened in Egypt. All the pyramid that's been built in Egypt, civilization in Egypt, and today also, for example, our space station. It was not only the American who built it, but it was collective, But collectively, one already have to develop its own as a nations, and passionate about space and all that, and collectively they come together and they build this international space. So of course it's always starting from the I, the self, discovery and the self aware of us here, the adventure of life, and trying to see, are you adventuring and where are you singing the music it's in you, or you're going to let that music, die with you at the end?
Well, I feel like that's inevitable.
It's inevitable to
Oh, actually, part of it might die.
Yes, of course. I think also it's not everybody who's going to be able to sing that music.
I
That
just had,
said things. Yeah, go for it, brother.
I just had the thought that when someone is asking themselves that question, yeah, and the person is very doubtful about themselves and why they're here and everything. I just had the thought that actually, even even if I see the purpose, like from outside, if you are not seeing it yourself, it's going to be very hard for me. Or no, let me say to your question, if it does matter.
Yeah, does it matter?
I think
Yes.
it matters only. It matters only if I also. For me, it matters for me. Of course, to the society, it matters because they kind of can see your purpose. But if that purpose that the society is seeing in you or in your existence, at the end, it doesn't matter if you feel as if you don't have a purpose, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter for you at the end. I mean, for the
Yeah.
society, it does. That's why it was good point from Ron to say that they're two separate perspectives.
Yes,
You
true.
know. So to your question, now we're getting into the question, into the answer. To
Yeah.
your question, it matters only if you understand your purpose and if you discover
Discover.
you have discovered your purpose and
Okay.
if you're in peace
With that, yeah.
in content with that purpose, regardless of how your purpose is to the society.
Oh, yes.
You know, so individually it doesn't matter, but to the society it matters. I feel. It just came to my head and I had just had to say it.
But do you think that always is it always that the purpose that society sees in you and the purpose that you find in yourself always align with each other?
Mm,
Or are they always the same or are they always different?
not necessarily. Sometimes society can also see something in you that you haven't discovered. And sometimes the society sees something that is not that is not even there. But this is again the question, like you have to
Yeah. But the
see
thing
it.
is, society sees only things that you show them.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Also things that you don't show them.
Well, they can judge
No,
also in
but-
different ways.
Because
it
silence
doesn't
also
see.
speaks very loud.
Okay, that's also true. But it's not only about something that you say. In that case, it's also what you do
Or not do.
or not do. But how can society see purpose in something that you don't do?
I don't know. They'll have, I think society will have different kind and all sort kind of uh, names and expressions for that, you know. But yeah,
But I think the more a conscious society we evolving, the more aware society is, the more we will be able to even guide others or assist others to exchange to to show them a little bit of map. Of course, I mean we all have different experiences of life, Oh, I have been there. I mean, are you not? You see someone also, like you say, not feeling always, down and feeling like I'm confused. Yeah, it's situation like that. It's happening, and in our society, not feeling the fire in you, like to wake up the next morning and to push to push you. Something you are passionate about. You're feeling more low. But of course, environment, society, family, it's also very important, to kind of spark that light in you. However, as we also even said before, we can only give what we have. So if, as I say, so the more conscious society become, the more also aware, we evolving. It's a little bit easier to kind of guide some of us, or to guide ourselves to exchange, like we've been exchanging like this, to kind of spark or to hear really that little voice, that little music, it's inside of you, and then get it out.
and as you can see, society is making a lot of money with it because that's why we have all these life coaches trying to
life coaches
look into people's lives and look at you and maybe also point out things that you don't do. So
Very true.
yeah.
And life coaches I always have a little trouble with life coaches.
Yeah, me too, really.
I never really get it, really, especially in the West society. In the West society, you see someone who is having maybe family and have work his life, and arrive in certain ages is alone and going through difficult of life. It's not like people who knows you or were part of your family or a little like your uh, your close community, to will understand you a little bit better. They know your history, they know a little bit of that. Let's just say family, your mother or your father or family members. There's a way they can exchange, and help you a little bit to see a bit clear. But understand, here in the West society, of course, there's a lot of alone people. People are so much alone, lonely, and going through, up and downs, the struggling of this purpose, Um, and the only place they're gonna send them, it's like, go to the coach. So the coach, when you book your day to the coach, okay, it's this day. He's just coming to do his job. He's just coming to complete his job. No, respectfully, I know those people, they have studies and they have also other experience with other people. You can combine that and see, oh, okay, I've talked to this person with you. It may work this way or that way. However, but I feel there's an emptiness. There's really not an energy of, exchanging with these human beings and, trying to understand more and help those human beings spark their light.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's also depending on the coach.
That's
Because
also true.
because it's like going to a doctor. There's some really passionate doctors that will not prescribe you straight away some pills, but they would like to know more. They
Mm-hmm.
they really want to heal.
Yes.
They really want to heal you, and the healing sometimes or the disease has different causes. And they try to really go to the core
Mm-hmm.
of it. Like, and there's some doctors you go there, you tell them, "Oh, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling having this pain in my belly," and then they just write something. "Oh, yeah, take
Yeah.
this,"
Just using the
without
book.
touching your belly, without asking you, "Oh, are you having stress? What's happening in your life at the moment?" Like really trying to find out. Really go into the core. And I think this also happens with a lot of life coaches. Because it's a money making thing. You just come and tell you all sort of stuff just to make you feel good, to get their pay, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't really go into
The dip.
people's
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
people's lives. I mean, it really depends. So yeah, it's the passion thing. It's also your morality. Why do you do the things you do? uh, why do you paint, or why did you become a doctor? What was your
Yes.
purpose? Why
Purpose
was
of
the idea
audience.
Yes.
Come
behind
back
it?
to that. Yes.
Did you just want to be rich,
Mm-hmm.
make money, drive a big car, or did you really want to heal people, or at least give them the power, to the strength, like empower them to heal themselves also,
True.
because sometimes we
True.
can also heal ourselves. We just don't know how,
Uh-huh. Yes.
and
Very true.
the same thing with the purpose. Sometimes we don't know how our purpose is, and sometimes it's good to have someone telling you, "Hey, me, I've been observing you for some time,
Mm-hmm.
and what you're giving me,
Mm-hmm.
you can also give to others."
There we go. So
And
the more
then
evolved society come,
so
away that way, the more are we going collectively also to assist each other. And then I think that's very important. Then someone, I think that's what you just said, very, very important. Someone who knows you. That's why I'm talking about family, or a community, which it's kind of can help to exchange. I understand. People also want to keep private about their lives and all that, but then just going to a place, sit down there, and of course exchange with someone just come to do his job.
Yes. But I feel like the life coach is not the person that you need. You need a
Mm.
psychiatrist.
Yes, well,
These are the
psychiatrist.
true professionals that try to actually get to the core of your problem. As you gave an example with the doctor, you try to examine where's the problem, and the person would listen to you and give the proper questions. Whereas the life coach just follows the program, the standard program of what he's supposed to say.
Well, for me, when I was even speaking here, I'm seeing all of them into like one like space.
But
But
no, no,
yeah, I
no.
know it can be very
Psychiatrists are different.
psychiatrist can be that's more it's more about the mind, the psychology of your thought. But there's a lot of mistakes also in those life you know psychiatrists. We were talking earlier here, about this subject of also gender, uh, which is starting at a very young age already, like a teenager child, going to a child psychiatrist because of all, as a teenagers, you already having hormones, different hormones, and all those things, behavior, and parents feel a bit, oh, what's going on? They take you to a psychiatrist, child psychiatrist. I'm pronouncing it well.
Psychiatrist,
Yeah, psychiatrist. Um, and then, of course, we're hearing that today, and psychiatrists will be, oh yes, I think your child is having this. There's also a lot of tricky
No,
things.
no,
They're
no, no,
seeding
no.
sometimes
That's not what
ideas.
psychiatrists do, though. The
Okay.
thing is, you go to the person, you have a totally confidential room, you have free space, and you basically talk to the doctor. You basically have different sessions throughout different weeks. I know a lot of people who went to psychiatrists and they actually got help, and I know a lot of people who got actually like psychologically traumatized due to some circumstances, and these people actually help them to go through and deal with this pain because
So it's like
they
mirroring themselves or mirroring a patient or things
they're
like
not
that.
necessarily
Questioning.
mirroring. Well, yes, they're trying to help a patient by trying to figure out the core of the what's happened and then trying to guide them in a way.
We will be right back. You're listening Nzaa's Virtue. We are here, Trésor Ilunga Mukuna and BATILA Ange and Ron. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Those who are listening to us here on, Spotify, YouTube. We are here with my brother, Batila. We are back here. We were talking before about the life purpose.
Different kind of purposes, I would say. Like the purpose that you feel from within and the purpose that is given to you by the society. So I think what we can discuss about now is what matters.
What matters? Does it matter? Oh,
And
yeah.
to me, what matters is it's also a cultural thing. It's also this thing about being a purpose for the community, for the society. Because like from what I know, I might be wrong, but from what I've learned, is like is that from my cultural background, it always serves the community.
Yes.
Like
service
whatever
of your
purpose
part
you have, that purpose is a service to the community.
for others.
It's not like oh, I'm discovering myself, and whatever. No, you're discovering yourself for the community.
Yes.
At the end of the day, like if you know that you have the talent or the gift to be have a to be the most amazing painter, then you'll be also painting people's houses, man.
Yes,
You know,
true.
you'll be painting their family portraits.
Yes.
If you are a healer, they'll come to you.
Batila, we were talking about music. over there, and you always fascinate me about the way you write music. It's very very profound.
Thank you.
Yes, it's very profound. You should listen Batila. You should listen Batila. Go to Spotify. Batila Ange is
Just Batila.
Batila. Just type Batila. You will listen some really good. What kind of music that you play?
Well, I call my sound Bantu soul. Bantu
Bantu
comes
soul.
from Muntu, human. Mutu,
Muntu. That's
also the head.
the
Mutu.
head. Mutu. Oh, so
In
the
Lingala,
the,
Mutu.
the head, like the brain,
The
the
brain,
head,
the
yeah,
mind,
the mind, the
you know.
spirit. Oh yeah.
And Bantu soul is the fusion of all the genres that have been created and inspired by people of African descent.
Oh
So it's basically I own it, you know. I
yes,
own all those genres. They're mine,
yes,
and I make use of them.
yes.
You know,
All the
they are my
music of your ancestors, collectively that you have combined.
exactly. They're my tools. You know, they're my ingredients. You know, it's like I'm cooking food.
Yeah,
You know, and I'm taking
yeah. Every part
ingredients,
from every
and at the
of
end, it's
music.
so
Yeah.
tasty. It's so tasty, and
Yes.
like you won't get it in another restaurant. You know, just when you come to Batila, you have that kind of taste.
Oh yes.
So Bantu soul, you know,
Bantu
music
soul.
from people for people,
For people.
you know, and I guess that's also one of my purposes. Maybe we have different
Oh.
purposes.
Oh yes.
We just don't
now-
have one purpose, different purpose. Because I believe I have different purposes. I'm also a father. I'm a brother.
Oh,
You know, I'm also, you know, like
just a living human being.
yeah.
Just yeah.
a friend. I'm a friend
A
to someone.
a wonderful friend.
A lover.
Yes, yes, a lover.
So different purposes, right? That's what
With
what
all
I
those
think.
relation connection for human beings. Yes, true.
I think this also reassures what we said before, that your purpose is mostly acquired,
Yeah.
something that you discover over time.
Yes.
So even when you feel like you don't have any purpose, you just wait for it.
Yes.
It will
The
come.
tranquility of surrender.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
even feeling that has a purpose
What kind of purpose does that serve?
for you to reflect, maybe for you to dig deeper, for you to seek for answers.
It's also true.
True.
You know,
Well
Yes.
said.
I mean, the way to enlightenment is going on that path of also like asking yourself, what is my purpose?
Yes.
Yeah.
The question is always within us all. Yes, the question is always that. And when we're diving through this life and the purpose, and it's all the question of always, does it matter? It's always coming back to us. Yeah, but for me, yeah, it's living life, as we said.
On the other hand, though, I feel like once you find your purpose, you don't ask yourself a question, does it matter?
No, it matters anyway. I mean, it matters because
Ah,
why should it matter?
Because you already found your purpose.
Exactly, it matters.
Yeah.
So that
No,
question
but
is
in this case, it's a different kind of question, right? Does it matter? It means, does it matter if I have a purpose or not?
no.
I feel like in
Mm.
this context, it's that.
Okay, no, I understood if that purpose matters, the purpose that I'm having.
Oh, but
Mm.
if
If
you
it
have
matters.
a purpose, it automatically it matters because you found it worth it for it to be your purpose.
Exactly. I mean, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Oh, that's an interesting way to see it. Yeah. Oh, well, as we live this life, we observe it as it comes,
Yes.
and the energy of always questioning that it will always fascinate us as human beings as we evolve. But at the same time, The adventure of it is just living and loving,
Kindness.
kindness, share,
Yes.
the understanding of others.
The funniest thing about adventure is that, do you know what's the best part about adventure? And what makes it an adventure?
It has a purpose.
No, 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 no.
Oh, let you hear it.
Because you never know what comes.
They are known. Yes,
You
that's
have
my
your,
world.
in a sense, you have a destination, but then for it to be adventure and not travel, it would is the thing that you don't know what awaits you in the future, and anything out there might change your
Your curse of
route.
roots. Yes, as they
And then,
always say, when you make
yeah,
plans, you can make plans, and God in the skies are laughing like ha 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 ha. Ha. Oh, he's making plans. Oh, okay. God in the skies laughing because our plans always come to the way of Nzaaa itself, to the way of what life gives to you into
yeah.
those wild places.
The
And they are
name,
known.
yeah, the nameless is the new beginning.
Yes. Oh, yes. The nameless, the new beginning. Oh, yes. The name
Talk.
that can be named is not an eternal name. The nameless, it's the beginning of heaven and earth. The named is
Adventure.
the
What was it? Is the mother of all
mother,
things, of thousand things,
is
or
the
something?
mother of thousand things.
Yes.
Yes. Lao Tzu.
All right. I think
Well, it
go
was
ahead. I mean,
yes.
what I would like to say is like there's this expression where people say they found their purpose. So that means if I understood it right, that means that you have to. I don't know if you have to, but if you have to look for it, maybe sometimes you have to look for it. Maybe sometimes you have to look inside of yourself
Yes.
to find that purpose, and sometimes you have to look around you to
But
find that purpose.
yes, it's contributing, the own selves and the relationship of others from our mother, the family that protected you since we were born, and the society that welcomed you. Yes, that involves also about what men pursue about life and
Yes.
their passions. Yeah.
So does one quick question, maybe we can discuss about it next time.
Oh yeah.
Does not having a purpose equals unhappiness?
You know,
What?
once an old German man told me about happiness. My friend asked him, "What do you think is happiness?" And this is a very old man, but he decided to come to work in our restaurant after retirement because he got too bored.
Oh.
But he's a professional surgeon, like a really great man, lovely guy. He said that happiness is passing moments in life. It's not something that you should achieve or should come to, or it's not a state, but it's just passing little things.
As it comes.
Yes, some little moments in life that make you very happy, but it's not something that stays.
Still, having found your purpose or having not found your purpose, does it equal unhappiness? Does it mean that you're unhappy if you haven't found your purpose?
No,
It doesn't mean
I don't think so.
you can be happy without having found your purpose.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the way yes.
I think we
It's
should
going
we should discuss that next time.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go. That's the mystery of it all.
Cliffhanger.
Yes, that's the mystery of it all. Well, yes, this is our first podcast. It's our premiere. And yes, those who are listening on Spotify or on YouTube. Oh yes, and yes, who will like to hear more and follow us? Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And adventure with us. And if you have also some comment you would like to make, suggestions, or a place where you feel free, a comment, and we will uh, try to hear it. All right. So it was really wonderful to have you here, Brother Batila, Brother Ron. Always there in technical side, and yeah, very genius. Thank you. Yes. Well, we'll those who would like to hear and follow our journey here, just having conversation. Uh, we'll be also having a new maybe guest. Will be more a surprise part of that. Uh, for now, we'll be having Brother Batila sometime when he's having time to be here. We hope to have you
Sure.
here uh, next few days to come. All right. So it was wonderful to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to us. Thank you. And Nzaaa be with you.
Nzaaa.
Nzaaa.